Most people who try to finance a custom farmhouse build don't fail because of the construction. They fail because of the money before a single nail gets driven. Here's what nobody tells you. Getting a construction loan in 2026 is completely different from getting a regular mortgage. The rules are stricter, the rates are higher, the process is longer, and the mistakes, they are brutally expensive. I'm talking about people who started their dream farmhouse build, ran out of money mid-framing, and had to walk away from a half-built house still owing the bank. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to go that way for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through exactly how to finance a custom farmhouse build in 2026. We're talking about the right loan type, how the draw system actually works, and this is the part most builders completely ignore. A rate lock strategy that could literally save you tens of thousands of dollars. Stay to the end. The rate lock section alone is worth more than most people pay a mortgage consultant for. If you're new here, hit subscribe and ring that bell. We drop honest, no-fluff money content every week. And drop a comment below right now. Are you in the planning stage, mid-build, or still saving? I read every single one. Now, let's get into it. Section 1. Why financing a farmhouse build is a different beast. Let's start with the foundation. No pun intended. When you buy an existing house, the bank lends against something that already exists. They can see it, appraise it, sell it if things go sideways. That's low risk for them. But when you're building custom, there's nothing there yet. It's just land, plans, and a promise. That means the bank is taking on way more risk, and they price that risk accordingly. Here's what you're dealing with in 2026. Construction loans are running anywhere from 5.75% to 7.50% right now, depending on your leverage. Even with standard 30-year fixed mortgages easing, down to around 6.5%. You need a minimum 680 credit score just to get in the door, and if you're going jumbo, over 832,750, which is the 2026 conforming loan limit. Some lenders want 720 or higher. You need 20 to 25% down on the total project cost. That means land plus construction combined. You need detailed architectural plans, a licensed contractor, and a lender-approved builder before you even submit an application. And here's the stat that should sober you up. 32% of custom home projects exceed their initial budgets by at least 10%. That's almost 1 in 3, which is why smart builders budget an extra 15 to 20% contingency on top of their estimates. Now, within that world, there are two main paths, and choosing the wrong one is a $3,000 to $8,000 mistake minimum. Section 2. Construction only versus construction 2 permanent. Pick the right weapon. Option 1. The 2 close, standalone construction loan. This is how people used to do it. You get a construction loan while you build, typically 12 to 18 months. Then when the house is finished, you refinance into a permanent mortgage. 2 separate closings, 2 separate sets of fees. The upside? Flexibility. If rates drop during your build, you can shop for a better permanent mortgage when construction ends. The downside? You're paying 6.75% to 8.0% on a standalone construction loan, higher than option 2. And you're paying 2 rounds of closing costs, which runs $3,000 to $8,000 extra. Plus, you're taking on rate risk. If rates go up while you're building, you're stuck refinancing into a worse mortgage than you expected. Option 2. The construction to permanent loan, the smart play for 2026. This is one loan with 2 phases. During construction, it works just like a construction loan, interest only on funds disbursed. When the home is complete, it automatically converts into your permanent mortgage. 1 closing, 1 set of closing costs. Rates right now for a one-time close construction to permanent. You can snag 5.75% to 6.50% if your profile is clean. For most people building in 2026, this is the move. Rate certainty plus a single closing is hard to beat in a volatile rate environment. The exception, if you genuinely believe rates are going to drop significantly by the time your build is done, and I mean 1% or more, the 2 close, might make sense. We'll talk about a hedge that risk in the rate lock section. But for 95% of farmhouse builders watching this right now, construction to permanent. Write it down. Section 3. How to actually qualify. All right, let's talk about what you need to get approved. This is where a lot of people get blindsided, so pay attention. Your checklist. 1. Credit score 680 minimum, but if you want the best rates, you need 720 or higher. Here's a real tip. A score difference of 80 points, say 680 versus 760, can mean a rate that's up 0.5% to 1% lower. On a $400,000 loan over 30 years, that's tens of thousands of dollars. Before you apply, spend 3 to 6 months cleaning up your credit. 1. Down payment 20 to 25% of the total project cost. Here's the math. If your land is $100,000 and your construction budget is $400,000, your total project is $500,000. You need $100,000 to $125,000 down. Pro tip: if you already own the land free and clear, that equity counts toward your down payment. That's a major advantage. And if you're a veteran, pay attention to this. VA construction loans require 0 down, 0 PMI, and rates 0.25% to 0.5% below conventional. That is one of the most powerful financial tools available to anyone building a home right now. 1. Detailed plans and builder approval. You need full architectural plans, a construction timeline, an itemized budget, and a lender-approved licensed contractor. The builder vetting process alone can take weeks. Start early. 1. Debt-to-income ratio. Most lenders want your DTI at 43% or below, ideally 36%. 1. Reserves. Many lenders want to see 6 to 12 months of mortgage payment sitting in your account after closing. This isn't just a box to check, it's what protects you when construction runs over schedule. And it will. The approval process, from builder selection to final loan closing, budget 3 to 6 months, not weeks, months. Do not buy your land and then scramble for financing. Section 4. The draw system. How your money actually flows. This is the part of construction financing that confuses almost everyone, and it's the part that kills projects when it goes wrong. Here's the deal. With a construction loan, you don't get a big check on day one. The money is released in stages called draws, tied to specific milestones of completed work. The lender sends an inspector out to verify work is done before releasing each draw. A typical 5 to 6 draw schedule for a custom farmhouse looks like this. Draw 1. Site and land prep, 10-15% of loan. Land purchase, permits, clearing, grading, utility connections to the property line. Draw 2. Foundation, 10-15 moors, excavation, footings, foundation walls or slab, below-grade waterproofing. Lender inspects, money releases. Draw 3. Framing and roof, 2025. This is when your farmhouse starts to look like a farmhouse. Structural framing, roof sheathing, windows, exterior doors. This draw is usually the most exciting and the most expensive. Draw 4. Mechanicals, 2025. Rough and MIM, electrical, HVAC. This is invisible work, but it's the guts of the house. Draw 5. Finishes, 2025. Drywall, flooring, cabinetry, fixtures, interior trim. This is where your farmhouse aesthetic really comes to life. Draw 6. Final, 5-10. Certificate of occupancy, final inspection, punch list completion. This triggers the loan conversion to your permanent mortgage. Here's what people get wrong about draws. First, you're paying interest only during construction, but only on the money that's been drawn. So if you have a $400,000 construction loan and you've only drawn a $120,000 so far, you're only paying interest on $120,000. That's actually good news for your cash flow early on. Second, lenders withhold 5 to 10% of each draw until all milestones are confirmed. This is called a retainage or holdback. Know this up front so you and your builder plan for it. Third, draw delays are almost always a documentation problem, not a lender problem. Your builder submits a draw request. The lender sends an inspector. The inspector confirms. The funds release. That cycle typically takes 3 to 10 business days. If your builder is slow to submit paperwork, your project stalls and your interest clock keeps ticking. Pro tip: set a weekly check-in with your builder specifically on draw requests. Do not let documentation lag kill your timeline. Section 5, the rate lock strategy. This is the money section, okay? You waited for this. Here it is. Rate lock strategy on a construction to permanent loan is genuinely one of the most important financial decisions you'll make in this whole process, and almost nobody talks about it properly. Here's the problem unique to construction loans. You're closing today, but you won't be living in the house for 12 to 18 months. A lot can happen to interest rates in 18 months, and you need to manage that exposure intelligently. Let's break down your 3 options. Strategy 1. Lock at closing, standard lock. When you close your construction to permanent loan, you lock your permanent mortgage rate right then. Today, if rates go up during your build, you win. You locked in before the increase. If rates go down, you lose. You're stuck with the higher rate. This is the right move if you believe rates are flat or rising. In 2026's uncertain market, many builders are choosing this for pure peace of mind. Strategy 2. Float down option. Lock and keep a safety net. This is the move I want you to pay attention to. A float down option means you lock your rate today, and you get a one-time ability to drop to a lower rate if rates fall before your loan converts. You get the protection of a lock and the upside if rates improve. Here's how it works in practice. You lock in, say, 6.5% today. During construction, rates drop to 5.9%. You exercise your float down, and your permanent mortgage converts at 5.9% instead. You don't have to refinance. No new closing costs. It just resets. The catch? Float down options cost money, typically 0.5% to 1% of the loan amount up front. On a $400,000 loan, that's $2,000 to $4,000. But if rates drop half a point, you recoup that in under 2 years of payments. This is the smart play in 2026's rate environment. Rates are uncertain. A float down lets you lock in certainty without completely sacrificing the benefit of a rate drop. Strategy 3. Float then lock, the aggressive play. Some borrowers float their rate during construction, meaning they don't lock at all, monitoring the market closely, then lock into a 60 to 90-day rate when their builder gives a firm completion date. This works if rates trend down during your build. But if rates rise, even 0.5% on a $400,000 loan over 30 years, you're looking at an extra $130 per month and more than $46,000 in pure interest, flush down the toilet over the life of the loan. That's a brand new tractor or your entire farmhouse kitchen upgrade. Gone because you gambled on the market. Floating is speculation. It can pay off, but it requires discipline and constant attention. For most farmhouse builders, who already have enough stress managing a build, the float and lock approach adds anxiety most people don't need. The bottom line on rate locks. Strategy, risk. For 2026, verdict lock at closing, low volatile or rising rates. Peace of mind builders float down option balanced. Uncertain, downward trending market. The smart play a float market drops. Aggressive risk takers only one final. Warning, do not treat a rate lock extension as a safety net. If your builder runs even a few days past your lock expiration date, extensions can cost up to 0.375% of your total loan volume. Per week, that's real money. Always request your extension before the lock expires, not after. Miss that date and you lose your rate entirely. Your broker should be tracking this, but you should be tracking it too. Section 6. The mistakes that sink farmhouse builds. Before we wrap, let's run through the money mistakes that blow up farmhouse builds. Avoid all of these. Mistake 1. Underestimating the contingency budget. Budget 15 to 20% above your construction estimate. Period. Almost 1 in 3 custom builds exceeds budget by 10% or more. The ones who had contingency funds survived. The ones who didn't, mid-build disasters. Mistake 2. Using land equity as your only down payment. If you own land and are counting all of its equity toward your 20% down, make sure your lender confirms this up front. Policies vary. Some lenders cap how much land equity counts. Mistake 3. Not vetting your builder's experience with construction loans. Your builder needs to understand the draw system, the paperwork, the inspection requirements, the timelines. A builder who's never worked with a construction loan lender will slow every single drawdown and cost you thousands in extra interest. Mistake 4. Applying for other credit during the build. Do not buy a truck. Do not open a new credit card. Do not lease equipment. Any new debt or credit inquiry during your build can trigger a mid-construction underwriting review that has derailed entire projects. Mistake 5. Getting only one lender quote. Get at least 3 quotes on your construction to permanent loan. Rates and fee structures vary more than you'd expect. A half-point difference in rate means real money over 30 years. Section 7. The full step-by-step roadmap. Let's pull it all together. Here is your exact roadmap. Step 1. Pull your credit and clean it up. 6 months out, get to 720 or higher if possible. Pay down revolving balances. Dispute any errors. Every point matters. Step 2. Get your land and plans order 4-5 months out. Finalize your lot. Commission full architectural plans. Get contractor bids. Build your itemized construction budget with a 15-20% contingency baked in. Step 3. Shop construction to permanent lenders. 3-4 months out. Get at least 3 quotes. Compare rates, fees, draw processes, lock options, and float down availability. Ask specifically, what are your draw inspection timelines? And do you offer a float down option on construction to permanent? Step 4. Get pre-approved and lock your strategy 2-3 months out. Submit your full application. Decide on your rate lock strategy based on the current rate environment. If in doubt, go with a float-down option. Step 5. Close and begin draws, build phase. Coordinate closely with your builder on draw requests. Track your lock expiration date. Keep 15 to 20% contingency in cash reserves. Do not touch your credit. Step 6. Final inspection and conversion home is complete. Certificate of occupancy is issued. Final draw is released, and your loan converts to a permanent mortgage. You're in. Building a custom farmhouse in 2026 is absolutely doable, but it requires you to treat the financing with the same seriousness as the construction itself. The construction to permanent loan is your foundation. The draw schedule is your cash flow lifeline, and your rate lock strategy is the insurance policy that protects the entire investment. You now know more about this process than most people who are already mid-build. Direct camera look. If this video helped you, do me a favor, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people trying to do exactly what you're doing. And if you have a question about your specific situation, down payment, credit, builder selection, anything, drop it in the comments. I will answer. And if you want to go deeper, my next video walks through exactly how to budget a custom farmhouse build, including where most people overspend and where you can actually save without cutting quality. Click right there. I'll see you in the next one.